tension between Lil Durk and Quando Rondo reaches boiling point. The ongoing feud between Lil Durk and Quando Rondo has officially escalated to a breaking point. Ever since blood was spilled between Rondo and Durk's camp, it was clear the conflict was heading towards something serious. Now, a shocking, never-before-seen video has surfaced, showing Lil Durk allegedly attacking Quando Rondo, and it quickly went viral. This is the kind of drama no one can ignore. Let's break down what really happened and how this is shaking up the game. Lil Durk's alleged plot to eliminate. Quando Rondo life as a rapper can be wild. One moment you're on top, the next you could be fighting for your life. While that may sound dramatic, in this case, it's rooted in harsh reality. Just look at the events involving Quando Rondo. To understand the full story, we need to rewind to August 18, 2022, the day before the shooting. According to court documents, members of Lil Durk's group, known as F, were tipped off that Quando Rondo was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. This intel came from a longtime F affiliate referred to only as co-conspirator 4. Once they confirmed Quando's location, Lil Durk's crew moved fast. Several members booked one-way flights from Chicago to California. The group included DeAndre Dantrell Wilson, FDD, Asa Houston, FF Boogie, Keith Jones, Flocka, David Brian Lindsay, Brown Eyes, and another individual identified as co-conspirator 2. Federal investigators flagged the use of a credit card belonging to co-conspirator 3 to purchase these tickets as suspicious. Even more incriminating were text messages uncovered between Lil Durk and his associates. A phone number believed to belong to Durk sent a message to co-conspirator 3. "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." This suggests he was aware of the potential legal risks and trying to maintain distance from the plan. As the F members made their way to California, one of them, DDD, posted on Instagram, "On my way to LA," confirming their presence at the time of the shooting. Lil Durk's own movement and preparations. Lil Durk himself also flew to Los Angeles the same day, via private jet, accompanied by an associate named Vonnie. Upon arrival, Vonnie rented a room at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, reportedly using a credit card in Lil Durk's name. This hotel room became a base for several conspirators, including Flocka, Brown Eyes, FDD, Boogie, and co-conspirator 2. Vonnie also acquired 2 vehicles, a white BMW rental and a white Infiniti with fake plates, which would later be used to follow Quando Rondo throughout Los Angeles. In another critical detail, Vonnie was tracked by GPS to a Big 5 sporting goods store, where he purchased 4 ski masks with cash. Soon after, he met with Flocka, Brown Eyes, and co-conspirator 2 to arm them. Authorities allege one of the guns was modified to function as a fully automatic machine gun, likely a Glock with an illegal switch attachment. The day of the shooting. August 19, 2022. On the day of the shooting, Quando Rondo, his cousin Sava Robinson, known as Lou Pab, and others left their hotel and got into a black Cadillac Escalade. Unbeknownst to them, they were being followed by 2 vehicles, the white BMW driven by Vonnie, with Flocka, Brown Eyes, and co-conspirator 2 inside, and the white Infiniti with fake plates. What followed was a tense, hours-long stalking operation. The shooters followed Quando's Escalade around LA, stopping at a marijuana dispensary on Flower Street, then a clothing store on Melrose Avenue. They made no move at these stops, likely waiting for a more isolated location. Finally, the Escalade stopped at a gas station across from the Beverly Center. As Lou Pab stepped out to pump gas, the attackers saw their chance. The Infiniti parked in an alley for a quick escape while the BMW pulled up to the gas station. 3 shooters, Flocka, Brown Eyes, and co-conspirator 2, exited the BMW, wearing the ski masks purchased earlier. They approached the Escalade and opened fire, discharging at least 18 rounds. In a cruel twist, Quando Rondo escaped unharmed. Tragically, his cousin Sava Robinson, Lou Pab, was fatally struck. The shooters fled to the waiting Infiniti and drove off. The aftermath witnesses captured the heartbreaking moment when Quando Rondo saw his cousin's body. He was reportedly devastated, screaming, "No, no." This traumatic moment was allegedly mocked by Lil Durk in later song lyrics, according to federal authorities. About 15 minutes after the shooting, Vonnie, Flocka, and DDD arrived at an In-N-Out burger restaurant in the BMW. Brown Eyes and co-conspirator 2 followed in a black SUV. Federal investigators say the conspirators discussed payments for carrying out the shooting during this meeting. Quando Rondo speaks out. Quando Rondo has spoken publicly about this traumatic event, describing it as the most devastating moment of his life. In one emotional interview, he reflected on losing his close friend and cousin in such a violent way. This violent episode between Lil Durk's camp and Quando Rondo is a stark reminder of how dangerous life can be in the rap game, where alliances, rivalries, and tragic violence collide with devastating consequences.
Well, you had a situation in LA where you lost your friend, Lil Pep. He actually died in your arms, and you said that changed you forever.
Bet, bro, that's the main reason I just said every bit, bro. That's the main reason.
Do you think that was the most traumatic event you ever went through in your life?
Man, hell yeah, and this why, cause, bro, I used to run around and be like, I ain't never got none of them. Bro, I just felt like when nothing never happened to you and yours, and y'all done did all the burning our houses, and somebody come burn your house down and the firefighters don't show up for you, that shit hurt.
A few hours after the shooting, Flocka, Brown Eyes, DDD, FF Boogie, and co-conspirator 2 boarded a flight from San Diego back to Chicago. Their one-way tickets were purchased using a credit card belonging to co-conspirator 3. Later, federal authorities revealed that OTFDD paid Flocka and Brown Eyes for their involvement in the murder plot. This payment continued for over 2 years. Despite the gravity of the plot, there was no legal action or public acknowledgement during that time, and the case went cold. It wasn't until October 2024 that the case reignited. A grand jury returned an indictment against Lil Durk and his associates, charging them with multiple serious offenses, including murder for hire, conspiracy to commit murder for hire resulting in death, and the discharge of firearms and a machine gun in furtherance of a violent crime causing death. On October 24, 2024, law enforcement arrested Vonyi, Flocka, Brown Eyes, FD, and FF Boogie. They also executed multiple search warrants at locations in the Chicago area linked to FF members. Shortly after these arrests, the FBI was alerted by U.S. Customs and Border Protection that Lil Durk had booked 2 international flights, a one-way from Fort Lauderdale to Switzerland, and another one-way from Miami to Dubai, both scheduled for the same evening. The FBI noted that the United Arab Emirates does not have a bilateral extradition treaty with the United States, suggesting that Lil Durk might have been trying to flee to avoid facing charges. However, Lil Durk did not board either flight. Later that evening, at approximately 6:40 p.m., the FBI received another alert. Lil Durk had been booked on a private plane leaving Miami for Italy, scheduled to depart around 9:00 p.m. At 8:00 p.m., law enforcement arrested Lil Durk as he attempted to board this private flight. The attempted assassination of Quando Rondo is considered one of the most brazen acts of violence in recent hip-hop history. What makes it particularly disturbing is the level of planning and coordination involved. This was not a spontaneous act, but a calculated hit orchestrated from the highest levels of Lil Durk's organization, according to federal authorities. But why did Lil Durk go to such lengths to ensure Quando was eliminated? To understand that, we need to rewind even further. November 6th, 2020, the beginning. The story starts at the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, Georgia, at approximately 2 a.m. What happened that night set off a chain of events leading to the August 2022 shooting. King Von, a rising Chicago rapper and close associate of Lil Durk, was killed during an altercation involving Quando Rondo's entourage. Surveillance footage of the incident later went viral, showing the violent confrontation in graphic detail. During the attack, Quando's friend Lil Tim shot and killed King Von. After Von was shot, off-duty police officers opened fire, and Lil Tim was also shot by the cops. According to Atlanta Police Deputy Chief Timothy Peake, 6 people were shot during the incident, and 2 died, including King Von, who was only 26 years old at the time. The relationship between King Von and Lil Durk was deeply personal. Von was signed to Lil Durk's record label, Only the Family, OTF, but their bond went beyond business. They were both from Chicago's O Block neighborhood and shared a brotherhood. King Von was not just an artist on Durk's label, he was family. The immediate aftermath of Von's death was chaotic and emotionally charged. fans took to social media using the hashtag #RideForVon, urging Lil Durk to seek revenge. This public pressure, combined with Lil Durk's personal grief, created a volatile mix of emotion and potential violence. According to federal authorities, it was during this period that Lil Durk allegedly placed a bounty on Quando Rondo's life. He reportedly used coded language to avoid detection, making it known within his circle that he would pay handsomely for Quando's assassination. Federal documents state that a witness interviewed by investigators claimed Lil Durk communicated this bounty to several members. Tensions between the camps escalated in the weeks following King Von's death. On November 20th, 2020, Quando Rondo released a song titled "End of Story," which addressed the shooting and claimed self-defense. This musical response was seen by many as disrespectful to King Von's memory, likely fueling Lil Durk's desire for revenge. The situation worsened with rumors that Lil Durk had purchased tickets to Quando Rondo's upcoming shows in Georgia, allegedly intending to cause trouble. Though these rumors were never confirmed, they led to the cancellation of Quando's performances in Macon and Brunswick, Georgia, scheduled for November 28, 2020. In December 2020, fake screenshots of direct messages allegedly showing Quando Rondo trying to reconcile with Lil Durk went viral on social media. Quando quickly denied the authenticity of these messages on Instagram, further deepening the hostility between the two camps. The situation took another turn in March 2021, when Timothy Leaks, known as Lil Tim, and the individual allegedly responsible for shooting King Von, was released on bond. In response, Lil Ree, a close associate of Lil Durk, made threatening comments during an Instagram live session, suggesting retaliation was imminent, adding fuel to the ongoing conflict. On April 14, 2021, Quando Rondo gave an in-depth interview with Angela Yee, stating that he had been asleep in a car when the confrontation with King Von began. He said he was unaware of any prior tension with Von before the altercation. However, this account did little to ease tensions or change Lil Durk's apparent determination to seek revenge. King Von's death was not just a personal loss. For Lil Durk, it was also a major blow to his record label, Only the Family. Von had been one of the label's rising stars, with his career gaining serious momentum at the time of his death. His loss represented not only emotional trauma, but a significant business setback. According to the federal complaint against Lil Durk, Only the Family functions as more than just a rap collective. It is alleged to act as an association of individuals, engaging in violence, including murder and assault, under Lil Durk's direction to maintain their status. This characterization suggests that violence and retaliation might be ingrained in the organization's culture, making a coordinated murder plot less surprising to federal investigators. FBI agent Sarah Corcoran stated that members engage in violence at Lil Durk's direction to uphold their standing within the group. This alleged structure, with Lil Durk at the top giving orders carried out by loyal members, mirrors the hierarchy typically associated with organized crime, not a music label. What makes this case even more disturbing is the allegation that Lil Durk tried to profit from the violence he orchestrated. According to federal authorities, following the attempted murder of Quando Rondo and the killing of Lupab, Lil Durk recorded music explicitly referencing the aftermath. The lyrics reportedly include audio from a news clip shortly after Lupab's murder, where Quando Rondo can be heard screaming, "No, no," after seeing his cousin's body. The chilling lyrics cited by federal prosecutors are as follows. Insert lyrics here. If these allegations are true, they reveal an extraordinary level of callousness, not only orchestrating a murder, but then mockingly referencing the victim's grieving family and song lyrics. The motive behind the hit on Quando Rondo appears clear when examining the available evidence: revenge for the death of King Von. U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada has explicitly stated that Lil Durk orchestrated the murder-for-hire plot in retaliation for King Von's killing. This motive is supported by multiple sources and fits the timeline of events following Von's death. What stands out in this case is the nearly 2-year gap between King Von's death in November 2020 and the attempted hit on Quando Rondo in August 2022. This long delay suggests a calculated and patient plan rather than a spontaneous reaction. The federal allegations depict a deep-seated desire for revenge that was acted upon only when the opportunity arose. The personal nature of this feud is further highlighted by Quando Rondo's own statements about the shooting's impact. In interviews, He has described the incident as the most traumatic event of his life, fundamentally changing his outlook. The loss of his cousin, Lul Pab, a close friend who died in his arms, left deep emotional scars. In the years following King Von's death, tensions between Quando Rondo and Lil Durk continued to simmer, occasionally erupting in diss tracks and social media posts. This ongoing hostility set the stage for the August 2022 shooting, creating an atmosphere where violence seemed inevitable. Although the murder-for-hire plot failed to kill its intended target, it tragically claimed the life of an innocent bystander, Savia Robinson, Quando's cousin. This heartbreaking loss has brought further legal consequences for Lil Durk. In February 2025, Andrea Licola Robinson, Savia's mother, filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Lil Durk, his business manager, and his record label, seeking accountability for her son's death. The feud between Lil Durk and Quando Rondo stands as one of the most violent and consequential conflicts in recent hip-hop history. What started as tension between artists escalated into a situation where lives were lost and others forever changed. If proven in court, the alleged murder-for-hire plot would mark a severe escalation of violence in the industry, moving far beyond diss tracks and social media disputes to coordinated attempts at murder. The case has drawn significant public attention, with fans and observers debating the ethics and implications of such violence in music. Following Lil Durk's arrest in October 2024, social media users speculated that Quando Rondo responded with a post about forgiveness. It's still unclear whether this post was directed at Lil Durk, but one thing is certain. Lil Durk isn't known for forgiving or forgetting, especially when he's been wronged. Don't just take my word for it. Ask anyone who's crossed him. Lil Durk's controversial legal history didn't appear out of nowhere. The recent murder-for-hire allegations are part of a troubling pattern of legal troubles and controversies that have followed the Chicago rapper throughout his career. His run-ins with the law go back to 2009 when he was arrested for trespassing. Although those charges were dismissed, they marked the start of ongoing legal issues. In 2011, Durk faced more serious weapons charges, resulting in a conviction and a 3-month jail sentence. This early experience shaped his image as an artist with real ties to street life. One of the most notable cases before the current murder-for-hire charges happened in 2019. Durk and King Von were charged with attempted murder linked to a shooting and robbery outside an Atlanta drive-in restaurant. After turning themselves in, both spent time in jail before being released on bond. These charges were dropped in October 2022, shortly after the attempted hit on Quando Rondo. Some speculate this legal win may have made Durk feel untouchable. Beyond these charges, Lil Durk has been connected to other controversies. In October 2024, the mother of slain Chicago rapper FBG Duck filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Lil Durk and King Von's estate, accusing them of involvement in Duck's 2020 shooting death. 6 men have already been convicted in that case. The lawsuit claims Durk and King Von operated as a criminal enterprise, using violence as a key part of their operations. Durk hasn't been criminally charged in Duck's death, but this lawsuit adds another layer to the violence surrounding him and his crew. There are also troubling links between Durk and the 2022 death of Stefan Mack, a suspected gangster disciples leader. Authorities believe Mack's killing was retaliation for the 2021 murder of Durk's brother, Dang. Although Durk hasn't been charged, this fits a pattern of retaliatory violence seen in the Quando Rondo case. Even Durk's music has stirred controversy. His 2012 hit L's Anthem allegedly escalated tensions between rival gangs in Chicago. The murder-for-hire charges against Durk mark a serious escalation. Unlike earlier incidents that seemed spontaneous, this case alleges premeditation and organized criminal activity. According to the federal indictment, Durk formed the group Only the Family, OTF, around 2010. While officially a record label for Chicago artists, federal authorities claim OTF also functions as a criminal organization involved in violence, including murder and assault under Durk's direction. This characterization elevates the allegations from individual crimes to leadership of a criminal enterprise. The FBI and multiple agencies conducted a thorough investigation, indicating the case's importance and the broader pattern of violence. Following Durk's October 24, 2024 arrest, a superseding federal indictment was filed in November, adding 4 counts, including using interstate facilities to commit murder for hire and using and carrying firearms, including machine guns, in violent crimes resulting in death. If convicted, Durk could face life in prison or even the death penalty. Durk has pleaded not guilty and hired high-profile defense attorney Drew Findlay, known for representing celebrities and former President Donald Trump. The trial, originally set for January 2025, has been postponed to October 2025 due to the case's complexity. Court documents reveal an enormous amount of evidence. Over 230 gigabytes of digital files, thousands of pages of reports, recordings, surveillance footage, photos, witness statements, and medical records. Notably, investigators say Durk attempted to flee the country on the day of his arrest, booking multiple international flights, including to Dubai, which has no extradition treaty with the US, before being stopped while boarding a private flight to Italy. This was seen as an effort to evade prosecution, potentially strengthening the case against him. Durk and OTF also face additional legal challenges, including a wrongful death lawsuit filed in February 2025 by the mother of Savia Robinson, who was killed in the same shooting involving Quando Rondo. Several others linked to OTF have also been arrested and charged in connection with the murder-for-hire plot. U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada highlighted the cooperation of multiple agencies, such as the FBI and LAPD, in uncovering the interstate conspiracy. This reinforces the idea that this is part of a larger pattern of organized crime, not an isolated event. Beyond legal issues, this case has deeply impacted those involved. Quando Rondo lost his cousin and close friend, Savia Robinson, in the shooting, a traumatic experience he has spoken about publicly. While the legal process will ultimately determine Durk's guilt or innocence, his history raises bigger questions about violence in hip-hop and the blurred line between music and real-life conflict. The situation is especially tragic given Durk's past efforts to move away from violence. In a May 2023 interview, he spoke about using therapy to cope with loss, showing awareness of the toll violence takes on his mental health. This makes the murder-for-hire allegations even more troubling. Meanwhile, viral footage purportedly showing parts of the violent incident continues to circulate online, though its authenticity remains unverified. What's undeniable, however, is the real human suffering behind these events. The lost lives, traumatized survivors, and grieving families, far beyond any viral video or headline.